Welcome to Ignite Success. I'm your host, Snowden McFall, 25-year professional speaker, 6-time author, and women's coach. And I'm delighted to have with me today assistant professor from Jacksonville University, Latonya Summers. Welcome, Latonya.
Thank you so much, Snowden. I'm so glad to be here.
Well, it's wonderful to have you here, especially as being a mental health expert.
Yes.
And what I loved about what you do is that you have some really fascinating niches. So mental health is different in ethnicities, from what I understand.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yes. Mental health looks different with different people.
Right.
And generally, right now, mental health and the counseling profession is still predominantly white. So all of the theories that we're taught and the theories that I teach my students as Dr. Summers generally hinge on Eurocentric norms and values, right? But the world is becoming so much more diverse.
Right.
People of different ethnicities are coming to counseling. And here we have these theories and counseling orientations that are really centered around generally white people.
Right.
And so
white males, right? Especially.
Yes, and then white males. All of the theorists, I mean, Freud, Pearls,
right.
you name them, Adler, they're all
right.
white.
Right, the Erickson, right, yes.
Except one female, Marsha Linehan, who created dialectical behavior therapy, DBT. So yes, we have a woman in Virginia satire with experiential theory.
So fabulous.
So we've
wonderful.
got two.
Right.
But then where are your theories, your theorists and your theories of color for people of color? And so I founded the Black Mental Health Symposium, which is an annual conference for any practitioner who works with African American people, just to create wellness in those communities and to increase literacy about what mental health looks like in ethnic communities.
So that's fascinating. So when is the Black Mental Health Symposium usually held?
It happens every September.
Okay.
This is the 5th year.
Oh, wonderful. And is it in Jacksonville?
It is not in Jacksonville.
Where is it held?
Generally, it's in Charlotte, but this year it's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm excited about moving it and eventually would love to have it to be here in Jacksonville, Florida.
So you said something fascinating to me. You said that pain is often a conduit for greatness.
Absolutely.
Let's say that again.
Pain is the conduit for greatness. That oftentimes I don't even think we know how strong we are or how great we are until you put us in situations where we're stretched and you have nothing to lose, or where it just really hurts and you're at your wit's end. And some people at that point contemplate giving up or suicide.
Right, which is so prevalent these days, sadly.
In fact, here in Florida, and then we're going to get back there, but here in Florida, our suicide rate is higher than our homicide rate.
The suicide rate is higher than our homicide.
Higher than our homicide rate. And you know, in the news, we count homicide rates here, right? We finished 2019 with about, 130 more or less of homicides, but the suicide rate always is higher here in Florida than the homicide rate.
Wow.
The last statistics I saw was 2016, where the homicide rate was about 111, but the suicide rate was 171, 180. So
people are dying more from suicide than through homicide.
Yes.
So what can we do about this? How can people have better mental health?
God. For one, you know that Florida ranks last in the amount of money that we give towards mental health treatment. So that means our folks don't get well. We don't have access to wellness. Maybe we don't have the resources. I mean, that kind of thing is a legislative issue that really needs to be addressed.
Right.
Two, I think even in ethnic minority communities, knowing what mental health looks like our frame of reference, ethnic minorities is what we hear on TV, what we hear in the music, and what we see on TV, in the movies. But those are so gross. Those depictions are so gross that oftentimes we believe. And
exaggerated. Yes. Right. And they're not realistic.
Yes. We believe, it's got to be that bad before I go to get help. And so we tend to wait longer. Whereas if we did more preventive work and promoted wellness among those communities, people would go faster, go earlier to treatment. So those kinds of things are things that we can do. Promote mental health literacy and put our money towards folks so that they can start to get well.
And you're also president of an association.
I am president of the Florida Association for Multicultural Counseling and Development. New president as far as about 3 months.
Congratulations. And what does that mean? What do you do in this association?
That just simply means some of the stuff that I'm talking to you about, those are my goals for the organization, to train counselors on ethnic minority wellness, getting them to publish and do research about ethnic minority wellness, because that's what fuels or trickles down to what our practitioners do.
Right.
And so if at this level we can begin to do research and find ways to treat them and develop theories that are Afrocentric or minority-centric, then folks will start to get well. So those are some of the initiatives that I do. I mobilize the therapists to go into the communities to do the work.
That's wonderful. So, and when you're training at the university,
yes,
what are you teaching there specifically?
Yes, at Jacksonville University, I get to teach some amazing courses. Some of my favorite courses, of course, Social and Cultural Foundations, which really is multicultural counseling.
Oh, wonderful.
So I get to, put that social justice and advocacy piece in there, where we are using our power to empower people who are less fortunate or haven't found their voices. So I get to teach that. Group counseling, which is another love of mine. I get to teach. And then ethics and things like that. But I teach about 5 or 6 courses there.
So how can people find out more about the Black Mental Health Symposium? Do you have a website?
Yes, it does have a website. It is blackmhsymposium.com. blackmhsymposium.com. Yes.
Well, thank you for all you do and for all that you're bringing to the community here. We're so lucky to have had you from North Carolina.
Yes, I'm so very glad to be here and find my way and make a difference here at Jacksonville.
No question you are.
Thank you.